Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are going to talk about my budget and money spent for not just the first week of January, but also the second week. Typically we will be doing these every single week, but if you don't know, I was very sick for the first half of the year. I guess it's the whole year for the first half of January. So this new year has been off to a rough start, but I'm starting to feel better and I really want to get a hold on my spending and just kind of track my spending. That was a big goal of mine for my budget, to make sure I'm tracking every single week. So we're going to backtrack. This is probably going to be a longer, chatty, a little bit disorganized video because I'm literally just going to be going through bank statements and through my paper planner, which you can't see, but it's right off screen here, and just documenting all of my cash transactions, all of my expenses and spending for my accounts as well. And let's just get a good handle on where we're at so we can get back to cash stuffings and, you know, the rest of January, now that I am actually present for January. I will say too, a couple of just quick things. One, you'll likely hear my heater. I am filming this pretty late at night. Typically when I'm filming, I turn off my heater so that you guys don't hear it. I'm not gonna do that. It is very cold. I'm in the Midwest. I'm keeping on the heater. So sorry if you can hear just kind of the humming in the background. That's not usually a problem on my videos, but tonight it might be a little annoying. The other thing is, you guys might recognize I talked all about the planners that I'm using for this year, and this is not one of those planners. I am still using my paper planner for like my daily tracking spending. That's right off screen. I have a small planner. Is it here? I don't see it. I was thinking maybe it was just here last time I filmed. I've been really not motivated to get in that planner. I don't know why I think that I'm going to be somebody who can purchase stuff and just be happy with it. I have always been somebody who really likes to create my own systems. That's kind of how my shop and things started, because I wanted to create my own things to use. Anyway, long story short, basically it's just the little planner that I have is just not quite motivating me. So I'm sorry if I really encouraged you to buy it. Luckily, it was just a couple dollars from Walmart. The planner that I was suggesting was just like the Walmart brand because it's cheap, and I'm like, it can do just what any planner, any budget planner can do. And then here I am using something that I created. I thought this might just be a little bit more fun to see on screen, and it is what is currently like motivating me. So, or it's like what I feel motivated to use tonight. So we'll see if this is something that I stick with. I don't know, y'all. This is just sort of my process and how I am. I need things that are gonna motivate me, and tonight this is what I feel is gonna motivate me. So we are in January. So let me circle January. It's 2025. My thought is, because I've been doing a lot of these full letter size pages for like Christmas planning for 2025, and then I recently shared with you guys something that I used to kind of map out all of my expenses for 2025. I think I'm just gonna get like a ringed binder, like a 3-ring binder or something, and start keeping all this together. So I do want to kind of track in case that ends up happening, but again, no pressure on myself. We'll see how my systems end up working out. This video in particular is going to be a little disorganized. I think I would like to get to the point where I'm coming into these kind of videos saying, oh, this is exactly what I made and this is exactly what I did. But I am not that organized for this video. I have my computer here, so we're just gonna be referencing it, and I'm gonna be going through each account. I have a checking account and 2 credit cards. Ideally, again, this is kind of setting the scene for you guys. I won't usually be this heavy on the intro, but ideally one of my credit cards is going to start being a dedicated work credit card. One of my credit cards won't get used anymore, and then all of my spending will be on just through my debit or cash, ideally cash. But so far we're kind of all over the place, including cash spending, which is written in the planner. So just so you know, how we're gonna start out is just kind of going through each account. So if it looks like I'm kind of scattered between both weeks, it's gonna be a little bit scattered. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. So this is week 1, but really I'm gonna do the 1st through the 8th. So I want each of my weeks to actually cover an 8-day span. So whenever we are in a 31-day week, 31-day month like we are for January, it is basically like I'm gonna have 4 periods, 8 days each. So like my weeks are 8 days each, except for the last the last week is only 7. So I don't know, it just makes more sense in my head versus, you know, having 4 weeks and then a couple days left over. Also, something I've tried to do in the past is, you know, kind of like track Monday through Sunday, and I always get confused on what I'm supposed to be tracking when. So this is something that is new to me. If you track your spending, let me know how you do it. But we're gonna be tracking week 1 is actually 8 days, and then week 2 is 8 days, so it's the 1st through the 8th, and then the 9th through the 16th. So I'm filming this on the 17th at night, so you'll see me again in like 8 days to do week 3. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's where we're at so far. And then, like I said, we're just gonna kind of start with my debit account and kind of go through the line. I'll tell you guys kind of where we're at and what we're tracking, but I'm just going through and finding expenses, writing them down. I'm gonna let you guys know kind of what I spent out of. The only thing, which maybe down here, can write my work expenses. Should I do it like that? I will say too, there's been no income at the start of this month. So I'm just gonna go ahead and write $0 on both of these. I get paid fully off of Etsy and YouTube. I typically, when I am working, I get paid from YouTube every week because I pull that money every week. I have a little bit of money sitting on Etsy, but not enough for me to even feel like pulling it. So that's the reality of working for myself. If I'm not working, it's almost like I'm hourly wages. Like if I don't show up, I don't get paid. That's kind of how it goes for me. So income for the last 16 days, nothing. So we've got to get on it. I am going to start by, I think I will write my work expenses down here. Let's see. On the 2nd, I did have a work expense for $22. And this is something I also want to work on because my work expenses right now, I'm paying a lot of things monthly. If you didn't see my last video, basically I'm going to be working towards getting my work expenses, like instead of monthly bills coming out, like I'm going to pay for full years of things. I'm not quite there yet, especially having not worked for the last 17 days. I'm not going to do that, but that's definitely in the works for me. So I'm looking through my debit, which I spend the least on debit. So I'm just kind of looking to see if there's any expenses. So on the 2nd, I did have a work expense of $22. And then it looks like another work expense. Looks like I have an instant ink charge of $58 coming off of my debit card as well. That was on the 16th. So there's one more expense on the 16th. It was for pictures for one of my sons. I'm gonna actually go ahead and write $20. I got the cheapest possible kind of like package that you can for my kids' sport pictures. It was just $10 each, and it's just like literally a card with a team picture and a personal picture. I've usually spent way more than this, but I've been sticking to my budget pretty good. So the boys' pictures, I did spend $20. I put that in the wants category. I didn't show you guys a quick overview, but basically I have income here. Any money I put towards cash stuffings, which was $0 for both of these weeks. I haven't done any cash stuffings, but I think typically I've given myself enough room that when I put cash stuffing money towards savings, like maybe saving for vacation or whatever, it goes in here, and I really like track and write down what it was for. I have a bills section here, variable spending, and then down here I have wants and needs. I purposely gave myself like a smaller section to write in, hoping that I won't spend a lot on wants or needs, and most of my like weekly spending should just be bills and variable spending, like things that are popping up in those categories. So far we just have a couple of work purchases, and then the boys pictures. $10 came off of my debit, but $10 I put in cash. So I just went ahead and wrote $20 down there. So that is all that has been spent on my debit card so far for the start of the year. Let's move over to one of my credit cards. This is the credit card that I've had for the longest amount of time, and I'm trying to move all of my spending off of it because it's not a very good rewards program. I have a new credit card that I'm trying to move any kind of purchases that are for the business onto that card because I do get free hotel points on that card. I don't really get any points on this card. So let's see what kind of spending I did, because truthfully, like I said, we've all been very sick. So I don't even know. I might have ended up doing a lot of spending, and I'm going to eat my words. So let's see. On January 2nd, So that's week 1. We do have a bill for Hulu. If you guys don't know, I did get the Hulu deal for, let me write second, for $1. Every single month I'm paying $1.06 actually. So I budgeted $1. I spent $1.06 on Hulu. I think it's a great deal. I will cancel as soon as that bill goes up, but for now I'm happy about it. Oh, I know what this is for. This was also a want. I spent $10 on something to do, let's see, on the 4th. I spent, I'm not gonna be very specific on this. I do try to protect my boys and like where they're at as much as I can, but I spent something like holiday related, like it's a thing to do somewhere local to us, and I spent $10 on that, just kind of pre-planning. That's coming up in a month or so, but I'm gonna go ahead and write it down. This $24 for Adobe on the 4th. So this is on the right card. Oh, I shouldn't have put, I was just saying I'm not gonna put a star next to this one because this one is on the right card. So we're just gonna put a little square. On the 4th, I spent $25 on Adobe. That is a work-related expense. And then on the 6th, I spent $10 on Apple. Now the weird thing is on the 6th, I also spent $11 on Adobe, which I don't know why I'm paying $25 and $11. I'm wondering if I'm accidentally duplicating some kind of service. Like for example, I'm pretty sure my Adobe is my editing related. So I'm wondering if I'm paying for the cheap editing and the more expensive editing. So I really need to look into that one. And then on the 6th, I also have a $2 Microsoft fee. Shopify on the 7th. Again, all this. Oh, I'm saying this is all on the right card. No, it's not. It's on my old card. I want to get it transferred over to the new card. So anyway, all this is stuff I need to look into. On the 7th, I paid $42 for Shopify. So some of this I need to look into. For now, I'm just going to track it down here in this little box. Ideally, I will at some point have this just be my personal budget, but right now everything is so intertwined, and so just trying to get things correct is, you know, I just need to track it. That was on the 7th. Okay, so that's good. And then I'm not writing that down twice. There is no way. They charged me for Premiere Pro. It actually says on the statement, they charged me this $25 twice. So I'm definitely calling them on that because they charged me on the 4th and on the 15th. And there's no way I should be paying that twice. I don't even have all of that under like different emails or anything. So there's just no way. Anyway, let's move over here because on the 16th, I did have a bill for healthcare. That's on the 16th and it's for $89. I do like to pre-save, how do I say this? I like to save like for all my bills, for example. By January 1st, we were ready for all the bills, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly when all the bills come out. It's just I save them the month before, I put them in on the 1st and pay all the stuff ahead of time that I can, and then that little bit of money sits in my bank account so that I can like pay back these cards as these charges happen. So that's what that is all about. On the 8th, I had a, do I put it under wants or needs? I'm gonna put it under needs, even though in my head this is a need, y'all. So soccer, I paid $208 for soccer for my son on the 8th. That is just for like an 8-week season. One of you guys mentioned though, they're like, as a single mom, I get some kind of, what did you call it? It's like a scholarship. You get a scholarship towards soccer fees and stuff like that. I'm gonna look into that. I don't get any kind of, or I have not applied for any kind of a scholarship, but I'm gonna see if we have something like that, because by the time I pay for the fall season, the spring season, and then winter training, it's gonna be $700, over $700 once I pay for uniform. So that's just a lot of money per year for one kid. Okay, so that's all of the expenses so far for week 1 and 2. So far we just have a couple bills, a couple of wants and needs. Now let's move over to my credit card though, because the credit card that I'm actually supposed to be using, I'm sure it's gonna have way more transactions on it. So let's get into that one. Yup, I can already tell. It sure does. Okay, let's start with week 1, and we're just gonna work our way through. I actually had some taxes. This is for 2023 taxes. This is not the actual taxes that I paid for 2023, but I paid 2023 late. Like I filed an extension and still got it in within that extension time. But once I got everything done, this was basically like the late fee. So this isn't technically taxes. This is just the late fee. I paid $101. I still need to do 2024 taxes, and then we'll start doing 2025 taxes quarterly. So this is the year we adult on all of the things, and you guys are going to get to follow me along with that. But just know that this 101, that's not my taxes. That's basically a fee for doing the taxes, getting an extension on the taxes. On the 3rd, variable spending. We're finally getting into some variable spending. On the 3rd, I spent once, actually. On the 3rd, for whatever reason, on my statement, it's a little bit backwards. So on the 3rd, I spent $51 for my boys for Valentine's Day, just like some little goodies for them. Then I also spent... There's a lot of Walmart purchases on my statement, so it just took me a second to figure out what all of this is. I got my oil changed at Walmart, so it was $64 for an oil change. That was one of my quarter 1 goals, is to get that done, so that feels good to get off my plate. And then it looks like I spent $151, $151 on groceries, and I'm wondering, because that's on the 2nd, I'm wondering if it's actually end of year spending, because it was my goal to not do bigger grocery pickups like that anymore. So I'm like, how did I get away with that? But I wonder if it was just sitting on the holidays, like it didn't process until the 2nd. I don't know. We're about to see. We're going to see what in the world happened. That must be what happened, because I think that's what happens. I don't know. The 6th, this is why I need to get better about doing this as it's happening, so I really can remember well what's going on. We did get Annie Ann's pretzels. We've been not doing so much fast food lately, but I had my kids walk an outlet mall with me. I thought it would be a fun idea for some reason. I just wanted to see, really, I know what it was. I wanted to see if the mall local to me, that is an outdoor mall, had outdoor heaters, and they did not. So I don't know, I just wanted to know for my own peace of mind, so that like if we wanted to go out on a really cold night, could we go and enjoy it? Well, we went on a really cold night and we did not enjoy it. So about halfway through this outdoor mall, there was an Annie Ann's, and I was like, let's go. I'm eating gluten-free, so I didn't get anything, but I just wanted to treat the boys to some warm pretzels as we walked back to the car. So that's how we ended up spending that. 50. Okay, so on the 7th, we got groceries again. And I think that second purchase definitely was from the end of the year, because it's a little weird that I would have gotten them like back to back like that. 30, 40, 50, 60, $65 in groceries. And then there's a couple purchases on here, but it's actually purchases my sons made, and then they paid me back in cash. So I'm not going to count those towards my own budget, because that was their spending their money, and they paid me back from that with like their holiday cash. So we're keeping those purchases off. On the night, so we're moving into week 2. My spending so far does not look bad, y'all. I'm pretty happy with this so far, especially being sick. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm sick, I tend to historically make more reckless purchases, because I'm like, I deserve it, it's worth it. But I was pretty good about it. Looks like, okay, so I'm just gonna do day trip prep under a want, because I don't want to announce what this purchase is, but it's $15 for something we are doing later for like a day trip out of town, but still like driving distance. So anyway, I spent $15 prepping for that. Definitely a want, not a need, but we did it anyway. McDonald's, it's like some of this, do I put it under needs or wants? Because I know why I did it. We're gonna put it under wants, because that's where it belongs. McDonald's. I actually think I need to make my variable spending a little bit shorter, because I'm not giving myself the grace of saying like fast food is variable spending. No, it was just a want. So McDonald's, I'm gonna put, let's see, it was $18. So I must have just got my kids a couple of small things, and McDonald's has gotten so expensive, y'all. On the 9th, I spent $40 on a bill that is a trampoline. pass. That is something that I thought would be really fun to do with my kids a lot, as it is winter, and then the spring, the weather can be kind of crazy here. So I think that is I'm happy to add that as a bill to my budget. Okay, here's the kind of things I'm not happy to see, but we're gonna include it anyway. Interest for cards. And this week, one of my interests came out, and it was $115, y'all. I'm not somebody who has kept debt on a credit card, so I'm not used to paying that, but it just kind of has come with the territory with moving and getting furniture, and I probably could have gotten away from it if I would have been a little more, like, had my handle on it a little bit better this year, but it is what it is. We're not going to worry too much about it. What did I spend on the 12th? I spent grocery money. I got $83 worth of groceries. And then also my insurance came out, and it was $93. And let's see, Aldi, I spent $17 at Aldi. And then I'm gonna put parking under a need, because I didn't want to pay parking. It was kind of a need that just kind of popped up. So this is all of my spending except for, we're gonna go through it just kind of quickly in case you didn't follow all of the spending there, but let me just add, I know there's a couple things that I spent in cash. I have been utilizing Marketplace to buy things secondhand. So I'm not gonna like section this all out separately, but under wants, I am gonna put just Marketplace, and I'll tell you what I purchased. But I'm not gonna write it here just for space sake, but I spent $55. I got some pants for myself. They still had tags on them, brand new. I got them for $30 out of this $55, and they were $150, like, not tactical pants, but like outdoor, like wind resistant, whatever, like $150 pants or something. I got them for $30, still with the tags on. My son got some snow pants, also new with tags on. What are you people doing? Just to give away stuff with tags on it, for $10. And they were like a $40 pair of pants. And then I got myself some thermals, and my son some camo pants, because he's obsessed with camo. So the thermals for myself, also brand new in packaging, unopened. They're like base layers, like thick base layers. And my son's pants with tags on them, that are camo. I got them as a gift for him. It's gonna be one of his gifts for Valentine's Day. So I got all of that for $15. So I got a ton of stuff for $55 during week 1. Week 2, I'll tell you what I purchased. I kind of keep track of these things in my paper planner over here. I spent, oh my gosh, I've been talking to myself for a hot minute because I let my camera run to 15 minutes and then it cuts itself off automatically. If you didn't hear me, basically I was just telling you guys my Marketplace finds from last week, whatever, not a big deal. This week, I will tell you though, I spent $37 on Marketplace. 27 of those dollars was for a tent. Now it's an old tent, so I'm gonna let you know how it holds up, but it had not been opened. So it's been sitting for a while, so it could be kind of, I don't know if the fabric is gonna like dry rot or what, but I got a tent and 2 giant like 7-gallon water jugs, all for $27. And then I got 2 sleeping liners that go like in your sleeping bags for $10 total. So I spent $37 on Marketplace this week, $55 on Marketplace last week. I'm getting all kind of good scores for us, especially because we're new to winter, so we need all the winter gear. We are going on a camping trip, and I'm trying to upgrade a lot of our camping gear because we're going to be going like, I don't know. I feel I wanted to update stuff. So anyway, I'm still staying within budget, and I'm enjoying it because it gives me like that shopping rush without me spending a whole bunch of money. So all in all, let's kind of go over week 1 and 2 quickly because we just went through it real slow together. But through the 16th, the money that has been made is 0. The money that has been cash saved is 0. The bills spent is just $1 on Hulu, $90-ish on healthcare, trampoline passes, and then $90 on insurance. And then my grocery spending, now that $151 is more than Like I wanted to spend, I'm trying to stay under $200. So I did not quite do that this first week. However, that was really like end of the year spending that I think just kind of spun on my account. What do you call it? It was like waiting to be processed. So really I just spent like $65 during that week. And then this week I did spend $83 on groceries and then $17 at Aldi. And then there's some wants and needs in there. None of it feels reckless though. One fast food related spending each week, and they're both under $20, so I feel good about that. The rest of it has really been like needs, you know, like none of it's felt too reckless to me. Oh, I have these little circles down here because I thought if I had a no spend day, we could kind of color them in. So let me grab a highlighter. I grabbed a highlighter before I even know if I have any no spend days, so let's find out together. What are we going to count as no spend days? What do you guys count as no spend days? I'm not going to count bills towards spending, nor will I count, do I count groceries? I did not write on here when I spent, okay, on the 14th I got Aldi. And on the 12th, I got those. We're not going to count Marketplace as spending days because that's just kind of stuff that I'm kind of thinking about and planning about, and I have like random pickups. So there's no way for me to really feel rewarded on the Marketplace if I spent or didn't spend, because I really just kind of do pickups when people can do pickups with me. You know what I mean? Like I can't plan on like a no spend. Anyway, we're really going to count groceries as spend days and then our wants and needs as spend days, except for Marketplace. $15 was on. I should have written down when these things were. The 9th. McDonald's was on also the 9th. So it looks like we spent, did we spend on the 9th? Yes, we did. We did not spend on the 10th. So that's a no spend day. 11th. 12, we did spend. 13. 14th, we got Aldi. 15th. We did not spend, and then the 16th we did. So we had, for week 2, we had 4 no spend days. And then week 1, we had, did we spend on the 1st? No, we did not. 2nd, we did spend. 3rd, we did. 4th, we did. 5th, we did not. 6th we did, 7th we did on groceries. 8th we spent on soccer. Yeah, so we had, for week 1 we had 2 no spend days, at least by how I'm categorizing them. And then on the second week, we had 4 no spend days. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let me know how you guys like these kinds of videos. I know this one moved super slow. It was a little bit chaotic. My hope is to get better at this, but I am gonna put these in a binder so we can kind of look back at them, and I think it's gonna make it easier. I'm trying to take care of 2026 me when I'm like, well, what am I spending money on and where is it all going? So some of this prep is really just trying to plan ahead for next year too. So anyways, that is it for today's kind of looking back on our week 1 and 2 spending. We will have another video like this in 7 days. Hopefully we will have another video sooner. I don't know that we'll have a cash stuffing this week. Like I said, business has been slow because I've been sick. I have caught up on past orders though, so I'm gonna spend, I think, the next couple of days working on some new designs that I wanted to launch to you guys. I had hopes of launching a whole new thing, like I was gonna talk about it a lot this month. That did not happen. I don't know. You guys will see me soon. Probably not for a cash stuffing, but maybe for some of those like beginner videos that I had talked about, or maybe just to show you guys some new products that I hope to launch in the shop these next couple days. Either way, keep an eye out here. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. It is free to do for you, and it helps me more than you could know. But that is it for today. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.